Iryna, thank you so much for your time today. A real pleasure to speak to you.
The same here. I'm absolutely happy to be here, Simon.
Something that I have started to think a lot more about in later years, and it might almost be a bit funny, I might say almost funny, but for a guy to be talking about self-love, because a quick story actually. I'll start on self-love, which was an amazing thing which happened recently with my son. And we were sat at the dinner table and he said, "Oh, mummy, I love you. Daddy, I love you." And he said, "Badger, my cat, I love you." And he said, "And I love myself."
That's
And
amazing.
I loved that. And I think I've started to think a lot more about self-love in recent years because I was someone who suffered with sort of low self-esteem for a really long time, although I'm quite confident on the outside. I think it all comes back to self-love and all the activities that have kind of taken me to get to here now. Can I ask you, as an expert around sort of relationships and psychology, what is self-love, and why does it matter?
Simon, actually, I'm so happy to hear it from men because I think that there is no gender, there is no right gender. As soon as you're human, you should be loved and appreciated and accepted as you are. And that's so rare nowadays because society dictates you their norms and we are following them and we are driving through life under the influence of our parental expectations, neighbors' visions, friends' advices, and um astrologists, numerologists, and so on. So we never know who we are. And that's our main task in life, to find out who we are and to accept us as we are. So for me, self-love, it's more about self-acceptance, self-care, self-understanding, and definitely self-knowledge, because you can't appreciate, respect yourself without understanding who you are. And that's my core thing about it.
Yeah, I love what you've explained there, and it is. I would define it as self-acceptance, and the more sort of growth work, self-improvement that you do, you kind of get to a level of really accepting yourself. And I feel like that's a really tough thing for someone to do. I mean, I'm in my mid 40s and I'm only now kind of getting to a stage in my life and I'm really truly accepting, the good parts, the not so good parts, um, and sort of trying to embrace kind of just what's within. And it's that self acceptance, I think, is such an important stage to get to, but it must impact people on very different levels at very different stages in their lives.
People are usually trying to be somebody else, first of all, coming back to society, and that your family members expect you to be somebody, sometimes to inherit their business, sometimes to be like your mother or father, and so on. So people never know who we are. We are kind of lost, and it's such an interesting process to dive into yourself, into the self-discovery, and there's so many tools to do that.
Why do you think it is that as we grow up, we we struggle around self acceptance, and because we get so many influences, don't we? It's Remember, it's parental, like influences from our parents, from a very very young age, and then we have influence from society as we get older. I think, and I don't know whether it's natural for someone to kind of truly find themselves at a later age, or maybe some people are very fortunate to find themselves a bit early. And even then, I feel like that's a bit of a funny thing to say, but find themselves, but truly accept who you are. I think it takes a bit of life to kind of get there.
Because we are raised up in society, in families, generally speaking. Of course, there are exceptional families and exceptional methods to be raised up, where we are full of restrictions, we are full of discipline, we are full of knows what not to do. We imagine that child, you have a child, you have a boy, yeah, and it's great, by the way. I wanted to mention that when kids in kid psychology, when they are punished by their parents, they don't stop loving their parents. They stop loving themselves. So these periods of time when your child is just born, it's so important to give as much love as possible, because whole thing that kid should get through you, it's understanding the world. And two, figures that are very important. It's mother and father. That's how children start to understand the table is the table, sky is the sky, and so on. But what happens after? We go to kindergarten, we go to school, and don't go there. You have to be dressed up this way. This is your church, or this is your temple, or whatever. So we are already told what to do. We never told, okay, try 10 disciplines and choose. What do you want? You want to dance? You want to play? You want to be yourself? Maybe you like guitar. And usually even in the schools, they try to get the best marks. Nobody's pay attention to your talent. Maybe Montessori school. I hope there would be more and more schools like that when they're paying attention to your strengths, not to your weakness, trying to make you as everybody else. And the same things is happening on your jobs with your partners and so on and so on, because we already got this program of leading in restriction, and we go with that through your life.
So is it part of so it's part of parenting. So I think about parenting a lot, and I'm hyper conscious of the words that I use with my son. And he's only 4, so I'm very aware now. At 4 years old, he is listening and learning, and there's so much information that's going into his subconscious. I'm always thinking about being positive and thinking about his strengths and all those sorts of things, and being really careful around anything negative that's said in and around him, just because I realize how much that could effectively impact how he is or how he feels. How much of parenting comes is how much of parenting impacts how you sort of turn out, and how your children will turn out based on those words in those early years?
I wouldn't give you a percentage because, of course, there are different elements. Some psychologists say that your persona, your personality is built up by two and nothing else you can do, all traits and main features and behaviors. The other people who are more spiritual, they say that your personality and your way of life and your path is built up on the sky before soul got here on the earth. So it depends, definitely, whatever you believe in. I think that parenting is extremely important, especially for mothers, if they have an opportunity to stay at home and to give as much love as possible. I know that not all families are complete, but mother's figure is incredible because until 3 years old, and there is a reason for that, because this is the strongest connection between your intuition, when they say you're mostly connected to your higher spirit, and that's what is coming through the feminine energy. Of course, again, not all families are complete, and you have 4 years old, which is amazing, and it's already, it's going to be probably more masculine energy when your boy is choosing what kind of sports he wants to play, and so on and so on. But you are doing a great job about parenting and being careful about what's going on in society and surrounding. Why? Because there are such things as triggers and tracks, and this is all about surrounding. Whatever we absorb in our childhood, and it's mostly until 10, 12, because that's what I do through the counseling. Whatever is your problem, whatever is your challenge in your relationship with yourself or others, we always do a little regression to your childhood trauma, because that's where it sits until 10, 12 years old. And we have to reprogram the things that happen to you, traumatize you, you carry with yourself as a bargain. What attracts, it's not even triggers, they are mostly things like music, for example, was on the background, and you have no idea why your child in future behaved this or that way, because when he was crying at 3, he heard that music. And when he's at 12 reacting in the same similar way, like he starts to tear, and you don't know, because children absorb everything, and after we carry it in adult life. So I think this is one of the most important things, to be a great parent and to be very dedicated. But you can't control God.
Of course. Well, you said something incredibly interesting there, which is when you're supporting couples on relationships, a lot of the work that you're doing is going back to that childhood period. So when you're consulting, I say consulting, when you're working with adults and they're in relationships, why is it so important to go back to kind of those primitive years?
Because psychologically, all programs that we need to work out, and they are hidden in these periods of time up to 10, 12, after we do all the things on repeat. So let's say I give you example. I had a woman, she was extremely scared of her husband screaming at her. In his pattern of behavior, it was absolutely normal because he felt unheard and he thought that he has to raise up his voice because nobody hears him. She was absolutely scared of screaming because she had an alcoholic in the family in her childhood. So every time the person got drunk, she heard that screaming and she felt in danger. For her, screaming is a symbol of unsafety. For him, screaming is a symbol of power. That's where we have to clarify and to meet each other in the middle. Since you talked it out, bringing it to your childhood where we all came from, and you will understand. And believe me, people start to listen to each other more and to be more respectful to their traumas. That's what matters in a relationship if you don't want to hurt your beloved ones.
That makes complete sense, doesn't it? Because if there's some sort of and is this based on the makeup of the subconscious brain? So we've got the conscious brain. That's, what I've understood is that's kind of like 5% of our brain, which is the conscious brain. But you're talking about there are things that we're not even so aware of because they're so ingrained into the subconscious brain. And therefore, when you're talking about these sorts of things, people might not, I mean, I can't even remember that many things about what when I was 10 or 11 or 12, but there'll be things there, no doubt, which are in my subconscious that impact how I behave today. And that's kind of what you're alluding to just there, which is there were things happening when that couple were younger, and it's impacted now how they see kind of the raised voices and everything else. So it's really fascinating to think that there's so many things that could be going on in our subconscious.
Yeah, we have our consciousness, we have subconscious and unconscious. Unconscious when you're driving the bicycle, so you know how to do it. Subconscious absorbs all your traumas, triggers, tracks, and so on and so on and so, and uh, build up your behaviors, because sometimes you don't know why you behave this or that way, or why you feel this or that way towards that person. And it always comes through the childhood as well. And your consciousness, it's because you think that you think, but in reality, you're controlled by your subconscious.
How many of our I mean, this is an impossible question, but like a lot of our beliefs that we have are possibly then from a time in our lives when we were adolescents. They are created because we're adolescents. Our thoughts, feelings, beliefs that we have, which we then carry into parenthood, or sorry, we carry into adulthood, and then without even being aware, quite often we then take that into a relationship, take that into parenting, and it feels like we always have to go back. But if it's been untreated or not even considered, then how do you start working with someone in that instance to say we need to go back to these areas, these times, because there's probably things you're just totally not aware of.
First of all, I don't like to work way too long. I like fast results. Even usually they say that women enjoy the process and men like results. In my work, probably I use my masculine energy. I love results. So when I work with people in individual sessions or with couples or singles, they come to me and they tell me any kind of situation. I don't know. Like, I was sitting in the restaurant. My husband is looking at the other woman. I got jealous. Okay. And I know how to bring it to the childhood because I have my special technique, and I work with your feelings and I work with your instincts. What does it mean? They are all the same. You think they're not, but they're all the same. I would ask you, and every person is different. And I was ask you, for example, or vice versa, yeah? Like, what did you feel, Simon, at this second when your partner is looking on somebody else? And I say, oh, I felt, I felt shame. I felt shame. I'm in this society. Or, for example, or would tell me I felt guilt because maybe I'm not great husband, not good enough. So everybody has their primary emotion, and you would tell me, oh, I had a lot of anger. that my partner is doing that. Yes, but anger is never a primary emotion. It's a secondary emotion. So we dig into your primary emotion. And after I say, okay, we understood that it was guilt, that you're not, I don't know, not good husband enough. I just make it up, of course. And I said, what was your body instinct? Your body instinct was to freeze and observe the situation, how your partner is misbehaving. You wanted to leave the table and run away, or, or it was disgusting for you. So there are six, main basic emotions, there are four body instincts. And you tell me, and after I ask, okay, Simon, when we understood your primary emotion, we understood your main body instinct. Where did you feel the same way first time in your childhood? And I drop you off in a second, and it happens in 15 minutes. And you tell me, oh my God, I was 6. And I felt so much shame when somebody punished me because I took somebody's toy. And I wanted to run away. I couldn't look at it. And that's here we are. We're in your childhood. And since we reprogram you there, you're not going to believe me. If your partner will misbehave and say, maybe I'm not sure I need that partner. You'll be so confident. You will be so full of energy because we return energy back from your block in your painful place.
And then is the self-awareness part of that, then self-acceptance? Because if you're aware of, oh, that's why I feel like this, that's what's happened to me, and like you said, you've kind of removed the block, and then now there's kind of acceptance, which then can, I suppose, can progress into the self-love where we started. So it's, you need to do the work to remove the block, it sounds like.
Absolutely. My job is to help you to identify the block and take it away. And after you proceed, you go through life on your own, and it's already a huge work done, but you have to catch yourself every time you want to react the same way. You have to reflect on it. It takes 1 second to recognize the situation. Oh my God, again, this shame came back to me. Again, this guilt came back to me. You understand? Or again, I want to run away. And now you catch it, and that what takes your self-awareness, because you're aware of the situation, what's going on with you and the way you react, and you just change it. You make it yourself, make the change, because believe me, universe will test you out. It wants to see you strong and healthy.
Yes. And with all this like decades of work that you've done, and the work that you've done with relationships and couples, and also people and people who are single as well, what have you been able to do to take all of that knowledge and then turn it into be able to support more people?
That's a great question, actually, because I just realized my big dream that would never probably have been realized without my husband. I just launched the app, the Self-Love and Relationship Intelligence app. I've been working with people before to meet him 12 years in different countries. I used to live in Ukraine, a little bit in United Kingdom, but at that time I didn't work. I was a kid, I was just studying new language. So I worked in France. I had my Monaco company, and then I met my future husband. I moved to United States, and here it's kind of successes in the air, and I understood that I need a bigger platform. I need to spread my knowledge. I want to help a bigger quantity of people. And I decided to take a challenge because I wasn't a techy girl at all, and I decided to develop the app. My husband believed in my idea a lot because he saw me counseling and helping people, and he was proud of me. And he saw the way I work, how disciplined and strict and going on I am. And he said, let's make your dream happen. Let's develop the app. And we created this self-love and relationship intelligence app, and this app has so many features to help people, because I know that not everybody has time, not everybody has energy, not everybody has money and opportunity to go to meet coach, experts, psychologists, counselor. And for example, I do counsel men. I know how difficult for a man to open up your heart, because we have stigma. Oh, you're visiting a shrink, something wrong with you. Everybody does, everybody needs support, hand of help, and so on. So this app is absolutely amazing, and it has so many features within, and the main feature that we just launched is Iryna AI. It's your 24/7 pocket counselor that actually does to you similar thing that I just represented a couple of minutes ago. Diving into your emotional status and helping you out to heal yourself without help of anybody. So you're on your own. It's a conversational avatar programmed by me. It's not ChatGPT. It's nothing standard. It's specialized to help you to learn what self-love is for you and how you can embrace your healthy relationship or build them up from scratch.
I love this. I'm really, really excited about what you've done here because, like you said, certainly for a lot of guys, it is really tough to open up and communicate. And that's why I sort of started this and said it's not often that guys will talk about self love. And I feel very comfortable with myself because I've been through kind of therapy and like this is part of what this podcast is all about, is to be able to talk about these sorts of things. And I really want to, a lot of the podcasts, I encourage guys to just to start journaling, just to start writing down how they feel, to, just to start trying to kind of just to feel your feelings. It's a good thing to do that. And by the way, there's so much intuition that you're missing out on if you don't do it, because a lot of guys, I know guys, they feel angry or they feel quite aggressive and they feel frustrated. Lots of them do. I have lots of male friends. I know kind of what they're going through. There's lots of things to kind of have those feelings. And what you're doing here is you're doing it in a way that's quite private, and not all people want to come out. And actually, this is a wonderful first step because you might not want to go to a therapist. You might not want that. And actually, you're just like, I want to go on have a bit of self inquiry just for me personally. I just want to know what it is. And maybe just being posed by the right questions in psychology, that's a great starter, I feel.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. This Iryna AI, she asks you the right question to help you to reflect on your emotions. And let me comment a little bit here, Simon, because I want to encourage men who are listening to us. I had a lot of men working with me. And after they brought even their wives to the therapy. And I have to tell you, they I saw people who are over 60 crying in pain because they say, I do everything for my wife and she doesn't appreciate it. Men usually have huge heart when they're deeply, seriously in love. And let me tell you, generally, it's not that I'm a woman. I represent women's gender, and definitely, I thank God I have great relationship in my family. Otherwise, why would I be a relationship expert? But I have to tell you, men have less reasons to be in love. Women, we are thinking about safety, how we're going to feed our kids. We need to have a territory. We need have to know that, oh my God, that my partner would be a good protector for me, and so on and so on. We are full of this have to, musts, and so on. It's in our blood because that's happened. That's God created. That we need to know that we have home, we have a kid, we have this, we have that. Man, when you're in love, you're in love. You don't care what this girl is doing for a living, what's her background, where did their men know how to love unconditionally. So they carry, and on the top of that, it's very difficult for them to open up heart. I have to tell you, it's one of the most challenging things on the planet to open up your heart, especially after previous disappointment.
Fascinating. Let's continue talking about men for a second, and we'll open up more of a broader conversation because, you know, you, so you mentioned there about having a broken heart, so it makes it even harder. So I think just as a starting position, men find it hard to communicate how they feel because they also feel shameful for how they feel. So I recently, a number of years ago, I got a journal, and it was one of the best. It was voted a top journal, but I bought it. Actually, no, my sister got it for me. My sister got it because it was a specific journal for men.
That's nice. I like that.
And I think the reason that it worked so well for me, but also for many others, now that company have gone on really, really well to support, hundreds of thousands of other men, is it gave it, the way it was structured, is it gave it a way for you to try and figure out how you feel. We don't know. Sometimes we just are frustrated or angry or this, but we don't know why, or we don't. And the great thing about the way the journal was structured was just that it would give you just simple tick boxes. How do you feel today? And then you would need to go through and just kind of then try and articulate it. Quite hard for a man to articulate it. Some days, the way you feel, you could be having an amazing day, but you've got no idea what that actually feels like, or a bad day. Well, I just feel bad. Like, and then it gives you a great opportunity to kind of write out, give you some space of why do you feel like this, and like start to really consider it. And if you've had real difficult pain in the past, I can see a lot of men being very stoic and going to work and doing their thing and being even more closed off as they get older. So I suppose my question there is, how do you break that down for a man who, as they get older and older, they tend to get more and more stoic?
It's amazing you asked that, Simon. When we built up this app, and we were thinking about our perfect customer, and we were thinking about the women. Women are usually interested in psychology, astrology, numerology, coaching. They're driven, but we have to find out. They're usually very curious. Now you make me think that this app is designed for men. I explain you why, because we have manifesting journaling with daily prompts. I understood that people, and you receive your daily task every day, because I realized that people have hard time. They have lots of talented people. They have procrastination because they're hiding in their own shade and they don't want to become somebody because they have their own fears blocking them from success. As you see, men, it's difficult to deal with your emotions because you ask about yourself what you've done, but you don't ask about yourself, like how you feel about it. Yes, not in the morning, not in the evening. And so on. So I created manifesting journaling there as well. It's not, and every day you receive a daily prompt and you can choose your category. You want to work on your success, your small, distant, middle plans. You want to work on your parental relationship. You want to work on your family relationship, and so on. So there are different categories, and you receive your everyday task, little thing that make you think. And we have as well awareness digital diary where can you actually reflect and write down, oh, today I had a fight with my sister, I expected her to do this and that, and I became so disappointed. So here you can understand your expectations put you in a disappointment mood. So when you write down and you do journaling and you understand you appreciate it, you know the value of it, you have an opportunity to look at the same situation from this side, and it starts to be objective, not subjective.
Yeah, that's really powerful. It's really, really powerful. And I think that there's a real value in writing it down. And I think what it is, and whether that just doesn't matter whether you're a man or woman, I think just getting it out of your head is a really critical thing. Being asked the right question, right, it's way beyond how are you feeling, or that might be a starting question, but then it's for the app to be able to interpret what you've said and then asked you the right next question to kind of draw out the what's really beneath the surface. I think that's unbelievably powerful. But yeah, I'll go back to the point of just writing it out is so important, and well, that's why it became a big part when I was going through a challenging time a number of years ago. My journaling at the very beginning was really dark, quite messy, all over the place. I never went back and read any of them. That's the one beauty of it, which I didn't realize at the time, was that you can write about it, forget it, it's done, but it's out, and therefore it's not plaguing you. And now journaling has progressed for me, where I can sit down and I can be really optimistic and talk about the future and what my plans are and my dreams, but also almost in a lovely environment where it doesn't matter because it's only me that's going to read it. And after that, I'm never even going to read it again because it's done and it's out. But what I love about the app here is it's going to interpret the question and then continue to help with the development and growth. I feel like that's
Yeah.
like the next level.
We have 10 features. They're all different, but they are all changing every day. And no matter what, it's going to be manifest in journaling with your daily coaching prompts. It's going to be Iryna AI. It's astrology, it is numerology, or it is like meditation. We have or self-love cards. We have daily quotes to support you, to keep you on track. We have inspirational cards, and so on and so on. But an affirmation of the day. Why we update it every day? Because person needed change. Since you stopped, it's like, a mental death. Life, it's non-stop moving process. So you need every day a hint, like keep going, keep going. And whatever you open up your affirmation, you're the best, you're the worthy, you're the one, booms. That good. After you read your quote of the day, after you, I don't know, did 5 minutes meditation or 5 minute journaling, and you already feel so enlightened and fulfilled because you did actually something for yourself. And you're right, when you write it down, there is such a little coaching technique when you come to a personal session and they say, imagine all your thoughts in the room and imagine that you take a brush and take them out. This is the same effect. When you write it down, it looks like it's done. It's gone, you know?
Yeah, that's exactly how it is. It's like if you write it down, then it's gone from your thought. It's like it's freeing up your mind, so therefore your mind can move on to the next task or whatever it is you're thinking about, or move on with work, whatever. It doesn't matter. It just means it's kind of out. But by writing it down, you're also committing it in some respects. Like, so if you are thinking about the future, or you are thinking about a task, or you are whatever it is, whatever's coming to mind, it's kind of, yeah, it's just, I think it's just such an important for our own self care, self acceptance, self love. Just getting it out is critically important. And I love what you're doing with the app, because then it's these daily reminders, creating a bit of evidence each day that you can feel better, you can do better, you can improve.
Simon, I think that self-work, why I tell you again that I don't like to work for a long time. I believe that, like it's like a fisherman. You can, sorry, I don't know how to, when you give the thing to fish, yes, I would better teach you how to fish and you do it on your own,
Yes.
because I give you the tools for the self discovery, for the self knowledge, for the self understanding, for the self acceptance. If you need me for personal consultation, I'm happy. I have my packages like 1 month's work. You do that. It's like 1 month for singles and 2 months for couples, because I do believe that you give the energy, you start pushing it, and after people are capable to do it on their own. I travel the world for so many retreats. I've been to India, to Sri Lanka, to Singapore, to Tenerife, to Portugal, and I did horrible, not horrible, they were very exhausting, they were very difficult, that very transformative retreats. And I tell you, self work is a key. So you have to take responsibility. You can't put the life responsibility on your mother, father, astrologist, numerologist, that somebody told you what to do. No, that's why I gave you all the tools. I can give you the push, like good kick, and you start. But after, you go on your own, or you don't need even personal consultation. Just go. It's a very simple app to use. But I believe that all answers are within. We don't need to do anything. We just have to be capable to listen to the silence and go deeply into our heart where all answers are there.
So I love that statement. All answers are within. Funny enough, I did an Instagram post, which I think was exactly those words, which was all of the
Yeah,
answers are within. I was talking with a friend who I hadn't spoken to for many, 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 many years. And this is a friend I used to go out partying with. And she, we go out partying, drinking, taking drugs, all those sorts of things when we were much younger. And then
sure.
she's become a psychologist now. And the interesting thing was, and she messaged me and she said, we were always searching for something external. And
Yes.
how amazing is it to find out all the answers were within us all the time?
If you believe in um, hell and heaven, I just tell you that it's all mixed up energies. I'm not talking religiously. I'm just telling you that it's all black and white. It's all mixed up. So sometimes for one person, you have to go to church to get your answers. Another person comes to the same, I don't know, eye-opening information for them through the drugs. For example, you did it, and one day you woke up and it said, "That's it, I'm done. I don't want never ever this to be a part of my life," you know? But you got your answers, whatever you did, smoked pot or anything else. So I do believe even bad happens for a reason to bring you to good if you're wise enough to use the information.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you as well. It's real interesting because that whole self-discovery piece, because that's what I actually think about, going back to those times when, we would take drugs or, a lot of that was about self-discovery. It was about feeling different. Like if you really break it down to the essence of what it was self-discovery. It was feeling something, it was connecting with people. That's why me and my friend are, still talking about it 20 years later, because what did we do? We connected. We were dancing to music. We were having deep conversations, but the difference is now me and her can do that, as adults through a communication, through meditation, through whatever. But you're kind of having the same experience. It's not, when you get really healthy and get yourself into a good place, actually it's not that different to being high. So it's so interesting because we are chasing a feeling quite often, most of the time. That's what I find.
Simon, I was a teenager as well. I try those things, Sansa. I'm not shy about it. Thank God it's not a part of my life, but I remember myself. Yeah, I was watching for love. I was searching for self-understanding. I was searching to understand what's my meaning, what I'm doing here on the earth, to meet new people, to feel loved, to feel appreciated, because you feel like you're doing the same thing. Oh, wow, you get close. After you realize, yes, maybe you had a great girlfriend and, like she stayed to be your friend, but usually they have fake affects as well. You understand that was your only platform to be together with that people, and since you take out the base of drugs, there is nothing to do with that people, because they say since you stop using drugs, you have to cut off all your relationship with people who are still related to that, because they are triggers and reminders. But anyway, life is life. Our experience is our experience. Whatever it is, it's very important what's your journey, and how you made it from A to Z.
Yeah. So on the features of the app we were just talking about there. You were talking about all the different components of it.
Yep.
Which part of it do you feel like is really resonating the most with people at this time? What feedback are you getting?
I think Iryna AI is the best feature ever. It could work independently because people they need to be understood. I work with people. I know people want to be understood and they want to understand themselves. So Iryna AI can help you reflect on your feelings and to understand yourself better and actually level up your self-esteem, build up healthy relationship. There are a lot of things about it. It's conversational. It could be your best friend, believe me, because you had a fight with your girlfriend 2 a.m., nobody to talk to, you can't fall asleep, you do it, and it will help you. It's unbelievable. So that's probably, I really love dream interpretation because it applies to your hidden desires, hidden dreams, like your needs, because sometimes we don't understand. It was actually built up on Jungian psychology because Jung believed that our dreams speak a lot about our hidden desires that we are not capable to identify or we use in our brain during the daytime. As well, I definitely like meditations. I build them up for singles and for couples. So you can do that with your partner, or you can, and it's all around strengthening your bond, making peace, having the same goals and values, and so on and so on. And your self-love category meditations, they're all about embracing self-love, maybe attracting your soulmate if you don't have one, and so on. So they are themed intentional meditations. They are my favorite features. Of course, I told you already about manifesting journaling with daily prompts that helps you to get to your goals much faster and identify your values. We have relationship intelligence pre-recorded classes that actually gives you a lot of knowledge about self-love and relationship intelligence. All other features like affirmations, quote of the day, self-love, or relationship cards, they are more inspirational to to keep you going, so you don't stop, you feel needed, you feel focused. um, Digital diary self-awareness helps you to reflect on your emotions as well. you have an opportunity to book sessions with me, but it's not a feature, just an opportunity to do so. And I don't, astrology, numerology. Yes, not everybody, I know not everybody big believer. And I never push people to do that methods, but I did it scientifically because my journey, spiritual journey, started through astrology. Even in Monaco, a lot of people knew me as an astrologer. So it can be very powerful when you're choosing your university, choosing your profession, or what's the best money making profession to me according to my calling. So I would do one at least one time in your life birth chart reading, just to identify your gifts and talents, because it simplifies your life so much. We even have compatibility feature. Let's say you want to see how do you match with your partner. Should you open up, besides love matters, if you maybe you want to open up business together, to see your strengths and how you match, that could be great. So that feature is important as well. It's more mathematical. Astrology, it's pure math, no fortune telling, no tarot reading. It's pure math for those who likes it. I do, and I think it's great. So we have so many tools. It's such a huge economy for 9.95 for singles, and uh, 14.95 for couples. And we have 7 days free trial, so you can jump on the app, try it all, fall in love, hopefully, because I did everything for that, and never leave, because every day updates.
I love that. It's amazing. So let's just pick up on break down on a few of those things you said there, because I've never known anything about interpreting dreams. So I'd love to know more about that. I've had some wild dreams recently, and my wife, by the way, who's we've just had a baby, so he's Luca, who's now 10 weeks. She
Oh, congratulations, Simon.
thank you. Yeah, it's a wonderful, trying, brilliant, crazy, chaos, beautiful. It's every, every objective you can possibly think of. It's all of the things: sleep deprivation, but beautiful all at the same time. Yeah, it's an interesting time. It's a wonderful time. But yeah, my wife, because of the pregnancy and her hormones, she is having some wild dreams right now. So I wonder, I'd love to know more about that. Of, how do we interpret our dreams? What do they mean? Because of course, like, let's just start from the very beginning. Like, what is a dream? Why do we even have them?
So they say they're dreams who are your helpers. They can give you like kind of prediction in future. And I would mention that everything you have within app, everything I'm certified for, because I studied professionally for astrology, for numerology, for psychology, for coaching. Dream interpretation, it's a field that it's a very scientific field. So when I'm speaking as a person who enjoyed it, who read about it, but I'm not certified for dream interpretation. And I explain you why. There are special vocabularies. You can't be certified for English language, you know? So you have vocabulary, you can be a teacher of it, but you can't be certified for that. The same here. So it's like the language of the universe, of your subconscious, that speaks to you. And there are different types of dreams. There are dreams who are your helpers, and they can be predictive dreams, like kind of guide. Let's say you saw that somebody has stolen your car. Car is usually a symbol of a relationship. I don't know every single symbol by memory, but you can. I was using, always interpreting. Okay, I was Googling it. What this means, I went to different vocabularies. There is vocabulary of Jung, of Wanga, of Meneghetti, of Freud, or Sigmund Freud, and somebody else. I forgot. It's like it's Vitayeva. It's a lot of them. It's probably 12 or even more. We use within dream interpretation, because it's our AI driven feature, 5 of them that created a base of it. So your helping dreams, they tell you, okay, with the car, for example, it's car stolen. It's like you have to pay attention to your relationship. Maybe somebody is trying to give an attempt to, I don't know, steal your bride or whatever, like, or maybe you have a fear that somebody wants to ruin your relationship, and you are jealous in daytime life. Sometimes It's just a pure reflection on your fears. Let's say you talk to somebody about going to Hawaii today, and in the night you had a dream about going to Hawaii. It's a reflection of your day. And there are dreams who could be weird dreams, like they say they're dreams from evil, they're dreams from like God, from angels. So you have to understand, you have to know the way you feel after the dream. It's one thing what you saw there, but the other thing how you feel about it. Because did you get scared? Did you wake up in a good mood? Did you wake up in a bad mood? I saw myself in a white outfit tonight. I was choosing all night the black outfit, and I was with two people who are gone from this planet, father of my friends and my own father. And it was kind of scary because first thing you think, oh, maybe you're gonna die and join those guys, that's like. But after at the end of the dream, I bought for myself pure white outfit, and I had a little belly, not like overweight, but like a little pregnant woman. So I go use dream interpretation today before to jump on your podcast, and I see that white outfit is a symbol of a new beginning and good white energy, and having a baby is a possible symbol of having a new project, or that your project that you carry on will explode. So, which is great for me because I just launched the app, and I try to speak about it, to shout it out. So hopefully it's a great dream. I got out from bad side to good side. So your dreams could be complex, could be not easy, but it's great to analyze them and to reflect on your emotions after the dream, besides symbolic part of it.
Yeah, that's such an interesting journey that you've been through there. I mean, sometimes you have such vivid, strong, powerful dreams. You wake up and you feel it. Like you sort of wake up and you're like, God, I really felt that was I was there in that dream at that moment. And my wife has told me before where maybe like so she shared with me, she's woken me up halfway through the night, and she's like, I just need to know you're there because let's say there's some infidelity in the dream. Let's say I was cheating, for example, and
Oh, I
she's
had those dreams. Yeah.
and she wakes up and she's so angry, and I'm like, I promise you, I've like obviously it's reassurance. I've just been lying here, but there's reassurance. But like in that moment, she needs the reassurance because the dreams are so
Yeah.
strong, they're so vivid. The feeling is.
Have you ever had a dream where you can rule the process? When you feel you're part of dream and you know what's going to happen next because you are the guy who is controlling it?
Yeah, yeah. So some, not all dreams, but certainly some dreams. I had a dream the other night. This is again, I haven't figured out what this means, but many years ago, I used to work on cruise ships, and one of my favorite jobs I ever had. I was traveling the world. I was on a cruise ship, and anyway, in this dream, I was ported back there. I was back on the cruise ship, but it was in my present life. So I had my wife, baby, and my son, but I was suddenly back on my cruise ship, and I was, when you're there, you're sort of kind of locked in. You're on a cruise ship, so you can't necessarily get away. And I just remember waking up thinking, and in that I was conscious of it, and I was actively trying to get out of it, trying to get out of the dream, trying to figure out if it was a dream, and then trying to get out of the situation at the same time. I was like, well, I need to get home because the baby needs to be fed. I need to look after Logan. Like, how have I ended up halfway across the world on the cruise ship? And I felt so trapped. And I was so relieved when I woke up. I was like, oh my God, I'm so relieved that was a dream because it felt so real.
Yeah, I know. They say sometimes their conscious dream, that's where you can control it. That's why I asked you about that. And they also say, I don't know this, Simon, they say that our body is resting like during the night and our soul is recharging. It looks like it's leaving the body and coming back. So maybe that's the explanation why we have dreams, because they look like so vivid, they're bright, they're like images. Yes? I don't know, but we definitely should pay attention to it. It's like a parallel reality that we have.
Well, I think just even that feature on the app for me would be more than enough to try and figure out what's going on, and my wife as well. So I think that in itself is a great thing to be doing. Um,
We are open to United Kingdom, like we are not open to the whole world, but everybody who's English speaking and everybody like European Union, United Kingdom, New Zealand, Australia, and United States and Canada.
Yeah. What's your vision for the app? What are you hoping to achieve with it into the future?
I want to create the community of like-minded individuals. I want people to heal themselves. I want people to understand that self-work matters, that your feelings matters, that self-love is the base of everything, of your confidence, of your self-esteem, of all your achievements, of your um, everything, absolutely every single niche in life. And I really want people to fall in love with themselves. And when like feel that I'm ready, I will open up to the audience and let people communicate with each other, because I think that what matters, when you know what you want the same partner. You don't want somebody, because I tried in my life to save people and it never works. People have to go through their own journey, through their spiritual growth on their own. And when you build up a business or you build up family relationship or friendships, of course you want to be, I wouldn't call it equal individuals, but you want to deal with people who know what their goals and values. And that's so much important when you communicate with people who still have their pains, but they worked on them, who became mature, who became wise, who became self-aware, because I think this is the main reality of 21st century, which is era of Aquarius. We have to grow up, we have to become adults, we have, to take our life responsible. And hopefully this app will be your best friend, because that's why I created it for people to start to be curious to about themselves, not about I use Instagram for business reasons. I don't want to disrespect any platform like TikTok or Instagram, but it's all about somebody else usually. So I want people to become observers of their life, not somebody else's life, and to be curious about themselves as much as they're curious about what their neighbor bought or what their celebrity, I don't know, what kind of dress they wore on red carpet. It's much valuable your feelings, your status of your mind and soul than whatever happens in somebody else's lives.
Yeah, I love that. I think I always think of it as me time. And because look, the world is busy. We're busy, whether we're parents or we're in long term, we're in marriages and, we've got friends we haven't seen in ages and all those sort of things. There's lots of stuff that's going on. But I feel like the sort of things you were talking about, the self care things, I look forward to because I think of it as me time. Like this is a little bit of time I've got for me where whether you're meditating or going to the gym or you're using the app to kind of like have some self inquiry. I feel like this today. Like we all deserve to feel good. We all deserve to feel great. And we all have the opportunity to feel great. And I think that's the thing. But I think sometimes we have such hidden trauma or blocked emotions. It's very hard for you to get there. And you just think, oh, I know certainly as guys, we just kind of think, we'll just carry on working. We'll be, strong and resilient and all those things because that's what we're told to be. I kind of feel like the tide is changing and there's a level of consciousness now which is really more saying it's okay, it's good to be in touch with who you are, it's good to learn about yourself because there's a great saying which I really love when I started getting to mindfulness, which was wherever you go, there you are. Like,
That's unbelievable. I love it so
yeah,
much.
because it's true. Like you're going to go on this long-term life journey with yourself. You need to make it a good one. Like with yourself, like you get tired of being you sometimes, of just feeling this way or thinking that way, or it's tiring to be me. Like I know that's kind of like a lower level of energy that a lot of people feel, and I certainly felt like that a number of years ago. I suppose what I'm trying to do is encourage people to go on this journey, and whether you use the app or just start with journaling or start with a couple of minutes meditation, just start somewhere because the benefits are really truly life changing.
Absolutely. The way you feel, that what creates the base for everything in life.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. Well, thank you so much for today. It's been such a wonderful conversation. If someone would like to
Thank you.
get in contact with you or download the app, like what's the best way of doing so?
I'm available through social media at IRYNA WOOD. I carry it on my own. I always respond to my friends and clients, always available for the audience if you have any question. As well, we have our website for the app, Gemini near me, like zodiac sign, Gemini near me. And the same, you can download it. It's available for Android and for Apple users. So go download it, enjoy it, fall in love with yourself. That's what matters.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Been a perfect conversation for this podcast. I really appreciate it. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Simon. Thank you. The same here. Have a beautiful day.